This is the Ears Up English podcast. English that grows with you. Welcome to Ears Up English, where your listening becomes stronger and your speaking becomes smoother. If English still feels scary or stressful for you, don't worry. We're here to help you enjoy English without fear. Strong ears, strong English. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Hey, Robert, can I ask you something? When you first started working in Japan, was there anything that really caught you off guard?
Oh, definitely. I remember my first week at my Japanese company. My manager came up to me on a Friday and said, "We have nomikai tonight." And I thought, okay, sounds fun.
And then you realized it was a little more than just fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone was already getting their coats on. It felt like missing it wasn't really an option.
I think a lot of our listeners have felt that exact same thing.
So today, we want to talk about nomikai, the Japanese drinking culture at work, and more specifically, how it compares to what happens in American workplaces.
Right. And this might actually surprise some people, because in the US, after-work drinks with colleagues are pretty different from what happens in Japan. So let's start with Japan. After-work drinking isn't just casual. It has a name, nomikination, a mix of the Japanese word nomu, to drink, and the English word communication.
Which kind of tells you everything, right? It's built into how people connect at work. It's not just optional socializing.
Exactly. And for a lot of people, especially younger employees, it can feel like attendance is expected, like skipping it sends the wrong message to your boss.
The interesting thing is, in the US, we do have after-work drinks, but the feeling is completely different. It's genuinely optional. If you don't go, nobody really thinks twice about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've had colleagues say, "Hey, we're grabbing drinks, want to join?" And if you say no, they just say, "No worries, next time."
In Japan, it can feel more like you're going, right? Not always, but that pressure is there sometimes.
So the first difference is really about choice. In America, it's a choice. In Japan, it can sometimes feel like part of the job.
And that connects to something deeper. In Japan, the workplace relationship is very important. Building trust with your team often happens outside the office.
There's actually a phrase for it. People say you learn who someone really is after a few drinks. The idea is that the real personality comes out.
What I notice is that in the US, we try to build trust during work hours, through meetings, projects, small talk in the hallway.
Right. The relationship building happens in the office, not at the izakaya at 10 at night.
And that leads to the second difference, the cost. Nomikai can be expensive, and often the most senior person is expected to pay more or even cover the whole table.
Which is very different from the US. In America, everyone almost always pays for themselves, going Dutch, as they say.
It's more of a work obligation in Japan than a personal choice. And I say that with respect because there's real value in those moments, but the structure is just very different.
That phrase is really useful, actually. It's more of a work obligation. It captures the feeling without sounding negative.
Exactly. You're not complaining, you're just describing the reality.
And the third difference I want to mention is the setting. In Japan, nomikai usually has a fixed time, a set menu, and often 2 rounds, the nijikai.
In the US, people might grab one drink and head home. Or some go for dinner, some don't. It's much more flexible.
There's no nijikai culture in America. 1 round and people start checking their phones for the train home.
Which, honestly, some people in Japan are starting to prefer too. There's a growing movement of people politely skipping nomikai, especially younger generations.
That's a real shift happening in Japan. Work-life balance is a bigger conversation now in Japan than it was even 10 years ago.
Let's listen to today's dialogue. Yuki is a Japanese employee explaining nomikai to her American colleague Alex, who just joined the company.
Listen for how Yuki uses the phrase, "It's more of a work obligation," to explain the culture without making it sound bad.
Hey, Yuki, so tonight's nomikai, do we have to go or is it like optional?
Honestly, it's more of a work obligation than a fun night out. Most people feel like they should go, especially for the first one.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like a work event, not just drinks with friends.
Right. It's how we build relationships with the team. Once you go a few times, it actually gets easier and kind of fun.
That makes sense. I'll go tonight. Should I bring cash for my share?
The CMU manager usually covers most of it, but it's nice to offer. Don't worry too much about it tonight.
That felt very natural because Yuki didn't say you have to come. She explained the culture instead of giving a rule.
And the phrase, it's more of a work obligation than a fun night out, does a lot of work. It sets the expectation without sounding negative.
Let's look at a less natural way to say this. If Yuki had said attendance is mandatory, that sounds very formal, almost scary.
Right, that's an NG example. It puts Alex on the defensive right away.
But it's more of a work obligation is softer. It says the same thing, but leaves room for Alex to make a choice.
The phrase it's more of is really useful in English. You can use it to gently correct or clarify someone's impression.
For example, if someone asks if your weekend trip was vacation, you could say, it's more of a family thing. You're clarifying without being blunt.
It's a phrase that sounds very natural in casual conversation, not too formal, not too casual.
One more thing I liked in the dialogue. Alex asked, do we have to go or is it optional? That's a very honest, direct question.
And Yuki answered it honestly without making Alex feel bad. That's a great communication skill in any language. Let's listen one more time to today's dialogue.
Hey, Yuki, so tonight's nomikai, do we have to go or is it like optional?
Honestly, it's more of a work obligation than a fun night out. Most people feel like they should go, especially for the first one.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like a work event, not just drinks with friends.
Right. It's how we build relationships with the team. Once you go a few times, it actually gets easier and kind of fun.
That makes sense. I'll go tonight. Should I bring cash for my share?
The CMU manager usually covers most of it, but it's nice to offer. Don't worry too much about it tonight.
What we talked about today was the difference between nomikai culture in Japan and after-work drinking in the US.
The first point was about choice. In Japan, there's often a sense that you're expected to go. In the US, it's genuinely optional.
The second point was about where relationships are built. In Japan, a lot of trust is built over drinks outside the office. In the US, it tends to happen more during work hours.
And the third point was the structure. Japanese nomikai has a fixed time, a set menu, and often multiple rounds. American after-work drinks are much more casual and flexible.
And today's phrase to take away is, it's more of a work obligation. Use it when you want to explain the nature of something clearly but gently.
Try it this week. If someone asks about something that's not quite optional, it's more of a work obligation might be exactly what you need.
You can also swap in other nouns. It's more of a family tradition. It's more of a courtesy thing. The pattern is very flexible.
The more you use it, the more natural it sounds.
All right, everyone, that's today's episode of Ears Up English. Strong ears, strong English. Keep training your ears every day.
Try the phrase from today's episode and see how it changes your conversations. We'd love to hear how it works for you.
And if you enjoy our podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new episode.
Join us again next time for more friendly, everyday English. Take care and keep your ears up. Bye!